What's up guys, it's Tommy here, and David Ornstein dropped a major Zubimendi to Liverpool transfer update because he said that multiple well-placed sources are claiming that Zubimendi wants to join the Premier League either in January or in the summer transfer window, and he is now coming to terms with the idea of leaving Real Sociedad. So would you like for Liverpool to sign Zubimendi? And I think Arne Slot has done exceptionally well, but he basically used just 4 midfielders, mainly for the 3 midfield positions, the 2 CDMs and 1 attacking midfielder spot. Endo has been frozen out, he didn't even come on. When Liverpool were 3-2 up, I would have brought on Endo and Elliott just to give them some minutes, and also Endo is great at breaking up play. Gravenberch looked absolutely knackered, Curtis Jones looked very tired, and they will need to play against Everton because McAllister is suspended because of 5 yellow cards. So I think Liverpool would do very well to sign a midfielder in January. And Manchester City have registered their interest following, of course, a very devastating injury to Rodri. Arsenal have been linked with Zubimendi, but they already signed Merino from Real Sociedad. Zubimendi has a £51 million release clause in his Real Sociedad contract, and Liverpool already triggered that once, but Zubimendi decided to stay. But now David Ornstein is claiming multiple well-placed sources believe Martin Zubimendi is now coming to terms with the idea of leaving Real Sociedad. That's what David Ornstein said, and they anticipate that happening next summer. So a January transfer is quite unlikely, but I think still Liverpool should at least try to convince Zubimendi to join Liverpool in January, because he's exactly the type of midfielder that Liverpool need. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this, and of course leave a like if you enjoy these, and subscribe if you're new around here so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. And David Ornstein said some around the situation are less sure, but they think in the end Zubimendi will change his mind and ultimately opt to stay at Real Sociedad, as we have seen before. But most recent conversations suggest things are different on this occasion, and that with time for him and Real Sociedad to prepare rather than rush a decision, he will leave Real Sociedad. Reports in Spain have also claimed that there has been a radical change of heart from Zubimendi. The Spanish newspaper Sport is claiming that Zubimendi's future is beginning to become clearer. The future of Martin Zubimendi, it seems that it is becoming clearer. Real Sociedad midfielder wanted by some of the best teams on the continent has made a decision regarding his next destination, and that will be a Premier League club. And Sam Brooks, another English journalist in the Daily Mail, is reporting that Zubimendi is ready to leave Real Sociedad in 2025, and it looks like Man City and Liverpool will battle it out for the signature of Zubimendi. And I would be absolutely devastated if Man City signed Zubimendi after Liverpool were so close to signing him in the summer. And this update says, or this article says, that Zubimendi's exit could be as early as in the January transfer window, with Sociedad powerless to stop him leaving if his £50 million release clause is triggered and he wants to go. That's the key thing, because Liverpool already triggered his release clause once, but in the end he decided to stay. Arsenal are monitoring the situation, but Man City are, and the most likely alongside Liverpool, to battle for his signature. The emergence of Ryan Gravenberch as a holding midfielder has transformed Liverpool's style of play, but the problem with Gravenberch is he already played in the 35% of the season. He already played as many minutes as he does in a full season on average. So he will be absolutely ran into the ground unless Liverpool sign a midfielder or unless Arne Slot starts to rotate the midfielders a little bit more. And I would give Endo more minutes in the League Cup, in the Champions League. I think we should start the likes of Endo and Harvey Elliott and just concentrate on the Premier League until March, when the Champions League knockout stages begin. Of course, Man City and Guardiola tried to plug the gap of Rodri with the likes of Gundogan, Rico Lewis, Kovacic, but they are either not physical enough like Rico Lewis, or they are not fast enough, or they don't have the legs for the Premier League in the case of Gundogan and Kovacic. Some believe that Man City are already out of the title race. I don't think so. I still think that Chelsea, Arsenal and Man City are in the title race because it is so early. If we had like 7 games to go and Liverpool were 7 points clear, then it would be a different story. But we still have 24 games to play in the Premier League season, so you cannot say that the title race is over. Zubimendi appears to fit the age profile that both Man City and Liverpool would want, and they could ease the burden on Rodri when he returns at Man City while also fixing their current midfield crisis. So if Man City go hard and offer huge wages to Zubimendi, Liverpool will be powerless to stop him going to Man City. That's why I think Liverpool should absolutely try to convince Zubimendi to come to Liverpool in the January transfer window. But David Ornstein said that the January transfer is unlikely. He said Liverpool's attempts to land Zubimendi in the summer transfer window did not come to fruition, and while Arsenal are also among multiple long-term admirers of Zubimendi, there have been suggestions Man City could go for him in January to help cover the loss of Rodri, but if an exit is to materialize, it is anticipated that would more likely occur in the summer, so at the end of the season, because Zubimendi doesn't really want to let Real Sociedad down by leaving them in the middle of the season where it's notoriously difficult to replace players in the January transfer window. And we might find out whether Zubimendi burned his bridges with Liverpool or not. If the opportunity is there again, Liverpool should absolutely be taking a look at Zubimendi. Ryan Gravenberch has made it feel much less of a priority, but you saw how tired Gravenberch looked against Newcastle's very energetic midfield. When you throw people at the Liverpool midfield with so much energy, so much passion, so much physicality, Newcastle are a very physical team, and that's why I'm a little bit afraid of the Everton-Liverpool game, because Everton will make the game very physical as well, and the Liverpool players looked tired. With McAllister missing, probably Curtis Jones and Gravenberch will start in midfield, but maybe we should bring on Endo after like 60-70 minutes. Of course, it's a concern if Arsenal and Man City are running for Zubimendi's signature, because that will make it even more difficult for Liverpool to sign him. But James Marchment, another journalist, is reporting that Liverpool believe a deal for Martin Zubimendi is finally waiting to cross the finishing line. Liverpool, of course, are flying high at the top of the Premier League table. At the moment, Liverpool are 7 points ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea. And this article was written before the Newcastle game. So instead of moving 12 points clear, we couldn't even maintain our 9-point advantage because of Kelleher's huge mistake. And I'm not really dishing Kelleher here. He's human. We make mistakes. And Kelleher has been almost perfect for Liverpool so far. So he's allowed to make one mistake. And that's not where the title will be won and lost. It will be in the other games. But if we don't win against Everton, then it will become a problem, because our 9-point gap could become a 5-point gap, and that's very dangerous. That's just 2 games, a draw and a loss, and you lost those 5 points. So a draw in a title race like this feels like a loss nowadays. So that's why you should try and win every game, and the Everton game will be massive for this, because that will be the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park as well, before Everton move stadiums. And this Athletic report says that Zubimendi is willing to move to the Premier League, and he wants to move to the Premier League. It's claimed that he will delay any move until the end of the season, and he is not willing to abandon Real Sociedad midway through the current campaign. The player is adamant that he does not regret his decision to snub Liverpool in the summer. He now accepts that he will need to leave Real Sociedad behind if he is to take his career to the next level and challenge regularly for trophies. And I told you, Zubimendi, in the summer, that you will not win anything at Real Sociedad. They just lost Lenormand and Marino, and they didn't really replace them with proper quality. So Real Sociedad got worse even though Zubimendi stayed. So how were they capable of challenging for trophies when they didn't even finish in the Champions League last season, when they had a better squad and a better team than this season? And this season they are at maximum gonna finish in a Europa League place again. And Zubimendi is having a good season. He had an 85% pass completion rate. He made 49 tackles in just 19 games, 21 interceptions, 14 successful dribbles, and he already scored and assisted for Real Sociedad. But Real Sociedad are not having the greatest of seasons, even though they beat Real Betis 2-0. pretty convincingly recently. And this schedule of having 11 games in 37 days, so one game every 3.5 days, is an absolute killer for Liverpool, because we also have 3 injured defenders. We have Konate, Conor Bradley and Tsimikas injured, so we can't really rotate in defense. That is very, very tough. I mean, we can rotate, but Kwanzaa at right back didn't work against Newcastle. He never started a game at right back, so why would it work? And that's why having Conor Bradley injured and Konate injured at the same time is really a killer. Liverpool have also 5 players on target for huge career high minutes in a season. Gravenberch is one of them. 14 players are beating their career averages. So 14 players in the Liverpool squad are playing on average more than their previous whole career minutes on average per season. And 6 players play massively more than their career average. And that is the consequence of Arne Slot only rotating 4 midfielders for 3 positions because of Harvey Elliott's injury, because of Endo not being fancied by Arne Slot. Basically, he rotates Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister in the 3 midfield positions, just these 4 players. So they are getting overplayed. And, you know, some fans are arguing that Arne Slot taking the League Cup so seriously is also hurting Liverpool in terms of injuries. So I think against Southampton, even though we have a Southampton League Cup game in December, we should absolutely just play the kids and rest a lot of first team players, because winning the Premier League title is much more important than winning the League Cup. We already won the League Cup in 2022 and in 2024, so let that competition go. I mean, not completely resting everybody, but just rest players who regularly start in the Premier League. And this is the run that we are talking about, that you can see on the screen. So we played Southampton, Real Madrid and Man City in the space of 8 days, and then we play, you know, Man City, Newcastle, Everton in the space of, again, 8 days. And the games are coming thick and fast. Thankfully, after Everton, we have a Girona game, which we could, in theory, rest some players in, because we are already pretty much through to the next stage of the Champions League. And then we have a big game against Fulham in the Premier League. Then the League Cup quarter-final against Southampton. We should rest some players there as well, because after that, the Christmas schedule, Tottenham away, Leicester and West Ham away are very, very tough fixtures as well. And also we should buy a player, a midfielder in the January transfer window. I wouldn't be against buying a defender in the January transfer window, because we have so many injury-prone defenders. Conor Bradley, Konate, Gomez, Tsimikas regularly pick up injuries. Gomez not so much recently, but he had his big injury problems previously as well. So yeah, let me know what do you think about these issues in the comments below, and thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.